This is the strategy that works. We've been doing this for the last 3.5 years, and it's going to get the most levels of engagement.
Because I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, right like a speeder, taking it deeper, and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he's sent for me. I keep the blood of the lemons my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks, they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth. It's poison and we got the remedy.
And what we're looking for is people that are hungry, wanting to hustle, wanting to break through walls, wanting to go after that legendary status.
They say you ain't about it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it. But you rose like the flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers. I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it.
What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan. We're back. It's Tuesday. Last week I was on vacation. I usually take like one per year and went to Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri, again for the second year in a row with the family for about a week. So I'm back ready to create more content. So it's Tuesday. It's noon. We're here to talk about industrial marketing. We got a new background set courtesy of Riley, doing a little change up here in the studio to make room for more people. So we got some cool set deck behind us. Hopefully you guys think that that's as dope as we do and as Riley did. So give him props in the comment section. If you think that the background is cool and he moves some good stuff behind me, then give him some props below. So if you guys are new to the content, we talk about industrial marketing every single Tuesday. We've been doing this for multiple years. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, head over to YouTube. Over 1,600 videos now talking about industrial marketing, industrial sales, everything related to hoping to help you guys with your pipeline, bring people in, work them through your funnel, get new customers, make some money. We talk about everything from website, SEO, content, video creation, advertising, virtual events, which we're going to talk about today, sales process, leads, everything in between, CRM systems, marketing automation, email. Everything is done on this channel. So head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. If you guys want to listen to this in a podcast form, all of our long form content is everywhere on every major podcast platform, Industrial Sales and Marketing with me. And you guys can check that out and subscribe to the podcast. So let's jump into it. Are people giving you props, Riley?
We already have a funny comment from Reed Rayberg. He saw the WD-40 in the back, and he said, "You tell me a problem WD-40 cannot fix, and I will tell you that you're wrong."
Yeah, exactly. And those products behind us is the Specialist brand, which a lot of industrial people don't know about, but we're here to help get the word out because they are a client of ours, as well as Shop Floor Coffee. They are a client of ours. So if you guys want to be fueled with some caffeine, check out Shop Floor Coffee. If you guys want to basically fix anything, check out the WD-40 Specialist brand. They've got, 12 different products for every application. It's kind of like duct tape, right, Reed? That's what it comes down to. All right, so today we're talking about growing industrial leads with webinars, virtual events, etc. Let's get into it. Have you guys done any webinars or virtual events? Put "I have" in the comment section if you have done it as a company, as a person, in your past life at a different company. Put that you have. This is what we're going to talk about today because this is a tactic that can generate revenue and opportunities for people, and it's often overlooked. We just started doing them at scale for our clients just in the last couple of months because it works so well, similar to this type of format, but you don't always have somebody that's willing to go out there and speak about anything at any time. So you got to change it up a little bit, but let's go to the board. So number one, Riley is making me use green because that's the only color. Oh, we got more colors over there. All right, we're going to use green. Number one, the topic has to be educational. That is a must. It has to be educational. You have to be providing some type of value to the audience. This cannot be a pitch type webinar. So if I did a webinar and I was like, guys, let me tell you all about how our industrial marketing agency is better than everybody else, you guys would be bored The whole reason why we do these lives is because we're trying to produce good content that can educate you guys, give you a leg up on the competition. Take the last 9 years of our experience and 25 plus employees here that are doing this every single day, and me on the front line doing it every single day with strategy, with implementing tactics, with testing things, seeing what's worked. We take all that information and we give it out for free to everybody that is subscribed to our YouTube channel or following me on LinkedIn or following our company page on LinkedIn. It's educational. If I just talked about why we're the best, you guys would be like, this is boring, and you click off. You have to start with a topic. The topic cannot be, hey, we've got some new product lines and we're just going to go through all the specs on these new product lines. Or, hey, we're a CNC machine shop. We're an injection molder. We're a robot integration. We're a press manufacturer. Whatever it is that you do, and we're just going to go through why our stuff is the best. That's not really going to educate people. So you have to talk to your sales team. Number one, pick the people that are going to be in. Ideally, you have some sort of host. If you can do it in one, this is ideal. So if you can have somebody that can run the event like we're doing right here, be the person talking and providing the education and filling the gaps and answering questions, that's ideal. But a lot of companies don't have that person that's willing to do both. So you need a host for the event and then a person that is going to be the main talking point. But that person cannot just come and show up and throw up information. So talk to your sales team and be like, hey, what are the top 5 frequently asked questions you get? Or what are the top 5 problems that you run into, that your potential customers run into when you're talking to them? So you went to this site, you went to this facility, you talked to this big OEM, something happened, and they're coming to you with issues, with problems. You need to write those things down. So if you've got a big team of salespeople, ask them all, hey, fill out this Google Sheet doc. What are some common questions, common applications, common issues that you get? And then start to form a topic around. That could be one show. Five main problems that our products solve every single day. That's kind of like the first point, is setting the topic. But how you deliver it is more important. So I can have a topic here talking about events, and I just went through and said, this is why we're the best at doing the events for you as a potential customer of ours. You guys would be bored. So good topic, but poor delivery. Now, by me going through and saying exactly how we do the events for us, why we do them the way that we do, how we do them for our customers and why, and how we have it set up, then that's going to provide you with some education. You can go and DIY it yourself, right? So you have to start with the topics. There's a plethora of topics. People, whenever we talk to new people, it's like the first thing, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. And so you have to look at it and take 5 steps back. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. You're too far in it. So you have to take a step back and be like, all right, if somebody brand new was talking to us, what would they want to learn about? So you can rank people in different levels. Brand new, don't really know about us. What do they want to learn? What are the problems they have? Maybe it's a specific industry vertical. Aerospace has different problems than automotive, than different problems than medical. What are some applications, some case studies? Not going through the case studies and only talking about it and just saying, hey, here's what we did for this company. Again, it's not about you. It's about the viewer. That's how you get the most engagement. So you have to pick a topic that you can deliver educational content on that's going to provide them with some sort of value. And it cannot be value of they know our brand and they want to work with us. In the instance of a case study, don't talk about how you guys solve the problem solely. Talk about, hey, here's a common application that we see in this industry. And these are the typical issues that they run into. And here's some ways and some things to think about when you're going into these issues of how to overcome them. And specifically, here's an example of what we did for one of our customers that provided them with XYZ results, right? So it's just looking at it differently from a different lens and saying, I'm not just going to tout myself. I'm going to try and provide as much value as possible. So number one, you got to pick an educational topic. There are millions of them. You just have to take a step back and think, like, what do I know? What have we done? What are some things that we run into? And take some time and brainstorm and ask other people at the company about common questions that they get asked, common issues that they run into. How do they solve them to start to form this topic? Create it on a Google Sheet and just throw the topics out there. We do it with all of our content. We do it also from an SEO standpoint. What are people searching for? What are people most engaging on? So we do a lot more data behind to support it, but we have a running spreadsheet of, what is it, Riley? Probably like 100 topics right now, at least. Yeah, Riley's saying, yeah, 100 topics right now, at least. We throw them up there, we go through them, and then I say, do I want to talk about these things? And I just say yes or no. So start with that educational topic. I can't beat that home hard enough that it is about them and providing them with value and less about you trying to sell something. The sales will come down the road. Go into it and say, I'm trying to provide people with value to push my brand out there and give them some information and educate them and help them out in their daily lives, in their daily job. And then second, if something comes from that from a revenue standpoint, which it will, then great. But step one is you got to educate and provide value. Number two, let's talk about the pre-marketing. Pre-marketing. If you're doing a show, then we call it pre-show marketing, just like trade show pre-show marketing, just like a live pre-show marketing. Let's just call it pre-marketing. So number one, ideally, perfect scenario, you got to treat this like a trade show. So with trade shows, we like to market a minimum of 3 months in advance. Now with a webinar or a live event or something like that on LinkedIn, some things you can't schedule out based on the streaming platform and whatnot, but maybe you're at least looking at 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance. You've already got this thing planned out. You post it up there, and now it's time to drive traffic. You can start to tease people on it. There's a lot of different ways around this. So number one, if you're doing a live event on social and you're using a third-party streaming software like we do with StreamYard, then you can, I think you can only, create the event 7 days in advance, Riley? 7 days in advance is the soonest that you can create the event on StreamYard to push out to YouTube and LinkedIn. But there's ways around it. So if I'm doing it that way, great. I know 7 days in advance, I'm going to create the event and I'm going to create graphics and posts and push it out there and invite people to it, etc. But if you want to have a little bit more runway and you maybe don't want to do it through social, you can create a page for the event. So create a landing page, have people sign up for it, have people register for it, and you can do that 2, 3, 4 months, a year in advance. You can start to market it out there. The key is you have to create what you want people to go to first and think about how you want that interaction to be. The second thing is, for those that don't go to it, that miss it, what are you going to do for those people? So if you're doing a webinar, are you going to have a replay access? And so what we did for one of our customers was we created the webinar landing page. Sign up was, I think, 4 or 5 weeks in advance. As they signed up, once the event happened, they got notified, they got access, it was added to their calendar, etc. But for those that couldn't watch it live or didn't even know about it, people that we couldn't market to, after the show was done, that's when we started continue to market and just changed on the landing page, sign up below to sign up for the replay, limited replay access. So the thing is, when you put all this effort into creating a piece of content or an event like this, and it doesn't have to be tens of thousands of dollars, it doesn't have to include 100 different people speaking, even if it's just you yourself, or if it's you and one other person at your company, market this thing 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks in advance. If you have a landing page set up for it, have people fill out the form. Hopefully that form goes to your CRM system like HubSpot or Salesforce. So you can say, these people signed up for this event. And then that way you can market to them afterwards. But then still, people that you missed on the beginning pre-marketing, you can still market to them as long as you change whatever the sign up form is and say, sign up for the limited replay access. It's going to expire in X amount of days. So create a sense of urgency. Say it's going to expire in 30 days, 60 days. They fill it out and they get the full replay access. But the key is, if you have an event, there's 2 things that are going to come from it. Number one goal is get as many people to the event. Actually, let's say 3. Number one is get as many people live eyes viewing the event as possible. So that's part of the pre-marketing. To do that, you're going to have to use social media, email marketing, trade shows, phone calls, whatever you have to do from a vertical standpoint, the different channels. You have to post content out there. It could be teasers that are in video format. We had one today. Lenore asked me, hey, Kyle, can you create a video today talking about our live? She actually asked me this yesterday because I wasn't supposed to be in the office yesterday, but I ended up coming in. She said, can you create me a video for the live that's happening today? And I said, sure. I ended up doing it this morning. And she said, can you also create me one for the one on July 30th? So I'm doing, selfie style. Hey, be sure to join the live that's happening about this topic. That's one form. Graphics is another form. Long form content posts is another form. So you can push them out through social those ways. You can do them through email marketing with just text. You can say, hey, be sure to check out this event that we're having. Would love for you to sign up below or attend it. Even if it's on LinkedIn Live, you can still add the link to the event 7 days in advance, and they can say, yes, I'm going to attend, so they get notified on LinkedIn. But if you're not doing it through that and it's just a regular webinar, you can have them sign up on that form. So you've got to look at the pre-show marketing. So number one, you want to try and get as many eyeballs on your content live as possible. Number two, those that you can't get live, you have to have some sort of plan to continue to market it out to people. And then number three is going to be, what are you going to do with that content once it's done? Just take a look at my feed on LinkedIn or YouTube and my channels. We shoot the live event like this. From this live event, step one is going to be chop it into a shorter piece of long form content. So what is it, Riley? It ends up being like 20, 30 minutes. 20, 30 minutes. If we go live for 60 minutes, how long are those videos? Like the long lives?
The long lives end up, cutting out pauses and stuff like that, end up being like 20, 30 minutes.
Still?
Oh, for like 60-minute live?
Yeah.
Oh, that's more like 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Yeah. So we take the full live and then we chop it into one long form piece of content. And then from there, you can do so many things with it. You can go, hey, I want a piece of content, a long form video that's just answering the questions from the people that were live. We've done that too. You can say, I just want to grab these 3 points, and that's its own separate long form video. Or you can chop the whole thing up, a 20-minute live, into 20, 30 different videos that are short form, 60-second vertical format posts for shorts on YouTube or for content on mobile for LinkedIn. But that's the way to do it, is that you have to have a plan in place. Like, once I have this content, what are we going to do with it? What happens with manufacturing companies, old school, they do a webinar. It's going to be talking about this technology for this heater band or this screw and barrel or this cutting tool or whatever it is. We got this new technology. We're going to have a webinar. You get 100 people to show up, 200 people to show up, or 20. They did the webinar. Maybe you have extended replay access to it, but then that's it. And so it's like you're missing opportunities to take the long form content, chop it up into small content, and push out through the same social channels and say, hey, you guys missed our webinar where we're talking about this technology. Here's a glimpse of it. To then try and drive them back into your funnel, to consider putting them into the top of the funnel. They fill out their information. You send them the link to the full replay. Then you start to market to them slowly over time. But you have to do that pre-show stuff first. You have to be thinking, what am I going to do to get as many eyeballs on my stuff right now? And then what am I going to do afterwards? Which we won't get too much into it. So number 3, now comes time to the event day. It does not matter if this is and I've only got 4 of these. So on the event, the day of the event, what are you going to do? So leading up to the event, you should have been sharing this stuff on social. What we've seen is that even on our content, we maybe get 10 people live, 50 people live. We've had at one point over 100 people live watching a piece of content. That's great to get people live, but where the magic happens is in the replay. Because everybody's busy with their calendar, with their day, like today at 12:21, there's tons of people that would like to watch this content and would like to watch this live, but simply can't because of their schedule. They have a work day. It's not like it's 7 o'clock on a Saturday night or 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night. You're posting this during the day, so you can't expect everybody to be there live. So you should have been marketing it ahead of time, pushing it out on social, promoting it, and inviting people, et cetera, about the event. So now the day of the event comes. What you want to focus all of your attention around is still driving more people to that event. You have to make sure that you've gone through whatever you're going to present. You want to make sure that you're not going to show up and throw up. You want to make it like lively and fun and less strict and robust. You do not want it to be boring. You want to have a little bit of entertainment there. So you're going to educate people and entertain them. That's the ideal state. Sometimes we entertain a little bit. Usually I have to bring Alex in for that. But you want to try and produce the highest level of value as possible, and it can't be like you're going to be nervous. It's going to happen. That's just the nature of the beast. The more you do it, the less nervous you get. But on that event day, you want to focus all attention around that. Don't have things before it. Don't have things after it. Be able to relax and just ease into it and do that event, and make sure that you have somebody on your team that is going to respond to comments as they come through. Does not matter if it's a webinar and you guys are doing it through Zoom or something like that, closed off. That doesn't matter as long as people are going to be putting comments in, and even if Kyle, we'll have a Q&A session at the end, that's fine, but you want somebody to acknowledge that chat. As people have comments that come through, have somebody on your team that could respond to those comments while it's live, grab the topics or grab the questions that they want to throw into that, so that way they can continue to keep it going. But it's all about continuity here. You don't want to have many breaks. It's kind of like live TV. Any breaks are bad. So you want to continue to keep it moving, have a strict schedule where you're saying we're going to open with this, we're going to plan it. You should have done some pre-production planning like we do with our customers. What's the opening going to be? What is the format going to be? When is this person going to talk? What are they going to talk about? That's all organized. When it gets to the event, you want to focus all of your attention on that event day. When you're creating the content, you want to make sure that your video quality is good, but your audio quality is better, because bad video matters less than the audio quality. You don't have to have every person on screen. If you wanted to share your screen, the presentation you're going through, that's fine too, if it doesn't have you, but it should be something in the beginning where it's got a picture of you, you're live in the feed, or there's some sort of static image of you, so the audience can know who's talking about this subject, whether it's an engineering topic, operations topic, or technology or things like that. A picture of the person while they're going through the presentation. It just has to be somewhat engaging. So on the event day, focus all the attention on the event. Make sure you let everybody know, as many eyeballs as possible. It doesn't stop there. Let's talk about what are you going to do with the post-show content, which we've already slightly talked about. So after, let's say post-event, yeah.
Might want to go underneath number 3 instead.
Underneath number 3?
There's a big glare right on number 4.
All right, number 4, post-event. Let's erase that so people aren't distracted. All right, post-event. What are you going to do? So number 1, we already talked about, you're going to try and chop up your content from that event into new content. Number 2, you're going to want to make sure that you are continuing to market to those people that couldn't come to the event live. You're going to continue to market to them for the replay and extended replay access. Maybe you can charge for this event, depending on the business you're in. Maybe you can be like, hey, $49, you get full extended replay access. Depends on what you're doing and how valuable this content is. But you want to hit the people after the show. You want to chop up the existing content. You want to push it out onto social post the event. You want to ask questions of the people that did attend. Hey, here's a survey. If you could help us out, it's 3 questions. Keep it simple, super simple. It can't be a 10-question survey. It's just got to be maybe 3 to 5 questions. What did you like most? Was it the topic, the speaker, the value, whatever? Put some questions out to be able to send everybody a survey that did attend the event live. Maybe even if you get 6 people, it's better than having nobody. So you want to send out a survey after it. You want to then be able to take that list of people that attended that event, and then the next time you have an event, you can do some pre-event marketing to those people saying, hey, I know you got a lot of value out of our ABC event where we talked about DEF. We've got another event coming up. I just wanted to see if you're open to subscribing and registering for that. You can do that as part of your marketing as you continue to build out this list. But after the show, the content that you get, this is where the most value is, because you continue to chop that up and push it out. You want to make sure that people understand that once it's done, it's not done, right? But traditionally, manufacturing companies would just create the webinar. This is going back the last 15 years. They do the webinar, they're like, cool, that was great. How many people do we have? We had 300 people attend. That's awesome. We're going to send them a post-event survey. We're going to email market to them in the future about our products or services or whatever. We're building this list of people that have engaged with us, but they don't do anything with the content. There are so many programs and systems out there. You can take a long form piece of content and chop it up. There is no excuse as to why you cannot do that. So focus on post-show. You're going to be doing the event. You're going to be taking all the content and chopping it up, posting on social, posting on YouTube verticals, take maybe some smaller long form pieces of content, send it out through email marketing, links to your website that's going to be still saying, hey, the event happened, but get a full extended replay access below, fill out your information, and then send them a link to that unlisted YouTube video. So you may want to remove it off of your YouTube page if it was a live event. If it was a webinar through Zoom, it's different. But if you guys did a live event on YouTube or a live event on LinkedIn, you may want to take that down at some point if you're trying to like gatekeep it and block it from anybody in the public being able to see but that is where you're going to see the most value. Telling people that you appreciate them coming to the event, telling them that you appreciate them taking their time out of their day to see it. You should be doing that during the event, especially after the event. But then from there, look to continue to harness those relationships, create those networking opportunities, create that bond that you're going to have with these people to continue to market to them for future events, and try and provide them as much value as possible. If they don't go to the event, that's great. Like, that's fine. I'm not going to take it personal. Maybe they didn't get value out of the topic. The first time they liked it, maybe the second time they're like, oh, that topic's not applicable to me. I'm not going to do it. But maybe they'll invite their friends. But it's all about what you do after the event to keep the momentum and then scheduling the next event after that. From a frequency standpoint, you need to be doing this at least once a quarter, I believe. I think that everybody has the capabilities to do it once a month, as long as you get creative with the topics, creative with the people, even if it's a single person, make sure it's the right person to be facing in front of the camera and being engaging with the people. But you want to be doing it ideally once a month through LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. You can do a private closed off Zoom webinar through Zoom or Microsoft Teams or one of those programs, but you want to continue to do it. As soon as you get that momentum going and you get some good feedback, you want to schedule the next one and the next one and the next one and continue to push it out. One secret sneaky tip is, and something that we're going to be doing at IMTS this year, I'm going to be going to IMTS. How about doing a live from a trade show? So if you spent all this money, $20, $30, $50, $150,000 on a trade show, you got your big booth and all your stuff and your people there, do a live from that event. Do one per day for just 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Hey, what's going on at this trade show today? What things are you going to talk about? What's some new information? Do you want to change up the scenery? If we were just in the same place all the time for every single event that we did and every single video, it would get boring. So if you start to get that momentum, then you go to a trade show and you're like, we're going to go live at the trade show. That will require you guys to hire somebody like us at MFG Tribe or another company like that that can stream everything live for you. But that's what it's about, is keeping that momentum going, changing up the scenery, changing up the topic, continue to get engagement. And the more that you do it, I can guarantee you it will result in business, but it's not like advertising. It's not like I'm spending $10,000 a month on ads and I'm getting $100,000 a month return. You have to put in the work. It's organic. And then the business will come down the road. It could come right away, but the business will come down the road. And at a minimum, you'll have a significant increase in your brand reach and your brand awareness. Guys, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll go through any comments and questions. If there's not any comments or questions, I'm going to go on about our day. We will be right back.
I'm Amy Teal. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Shop Floor Coffee.
My name is Mike Franz. I am the CIO for Shop Floor Coffee. Amy and I were sitting around having a cup of coffee, and we were thinking about all the years that we've been in manufacturing. And one of the top 3 issues that always comes up is there's a giant skills gap in manufacturing, and workforce development is always a challenge. And we wanted to give back to this huge problem. Shop Floor Coffee was made to give back to the manufacturing community and to help support workforce development programs.
So Shop Floor Coffee, we are here to give back to the manufacturing community. We provide 20% of our proceeds back to workforce development initiatives through different associations and national organizations.
At Shop Floor Coffee, it's simple. We make great coffee and we support the manufacturing industry.
Shop Floor Coffee is the only coffee company that is dedicated to the manufacturing community. So we're here to support you and help grow that future workforce. Shop Floor Coffee is not only trying to make a really great impact within the community, but as a women-owned company, we really want to focus on inclusivity of everybody. So while the majority of the manufacturing community is male-dominated, we do want to put a focus on women. We also want to make sure that we're focusing on different opportunities.
At Shop Floor Coffee, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get Shop Floor Coffee in your facility. We're working with local and national distribution companies that have the capability to provide it anywhere in the country with a click of a button.
Another unique feature of Shop Floor Coffee is the roasting process. The roasters that we work with, we try to make sure that they are leaving as little impact to the environment as possible and making sure that all of our beans are sustainably sourced so that we can continue to have coffee beans grown into our future.
You can know by buying shop floor coffee that we're going to give you a quality product and you're benefiting the next generation of manufacturers.
All right, guys, we're back. Hopefully you liked that promo video for Shop Floor Coffee. Do me a favor. If you guys are drinking coffee at your plant, which I know all of you are, head over to Shop Floor Coffee. Check out the subscriptions. You can subscribe to it. Delivery every 2 weeks, 30 days, 90 days. The coffee is good. I would not support it if I didn't think it was good. I'm not a coffee connoisseur. I'm no expert by any means. We've got experts here, and they said that the coffee was good, and they're super picky with like Colombian roast and all this BS. And we have people here that during college worked as baristas, and they said that it's good. So allegedly it's good to their standards. I think that the key here is that it is a brand supporting workforce development, and a percentage of their revenue and proceeds goes to different associations, different programs and donations to companies and organizations that are supporting workforce development in manufacturing. It's all about getting that next generation going. So anything that you guys can do, go over there, buy 2 bags of coffee, set up a subscription, head over there. You're supporting a great cause with the workforce development and getting that youth into this, because we're all getting old. My beard's getting grayer, and one day I'm not going to be in this industry like some of you vets out there, and we're going to rely on those younger kids. So let's help support a good cause with Shop Floor Coffee. All right, let's get into the comments, questions, etc.
Alrighty, so Mr. Drinkwater has a question. He says, how long should you plan on the live being?
So the live, I don't want to set a time limit to it. I would say that you got to look at it like this. The first, if you're looking for live viewers, eyeballs wise, the first few minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, you're not going to get the most eyes on it because people are busy. They get the notification. They remember. Think about like you have a meeting set for 1 o'clock. So many people are like, oh, sorry, my previous meeting overran. So you're not going to get that many people that show up immediately once the live starts unless they have it booked and they're actually attentive to their calendar. So therefore, you would want it to go a little bit longer. So I'd say maybe 20, 30 minutes would be ideal. But if you're like, Kyle, I don't have 30 minutes worth of stuff to talk about, even if you can break it down into 15 minutes, keep in mind that replay is going to live there on social and on YouTube. And as long as you chop up the content and you continue to push it out there, it'll get more eyes on like, oh, this person's creating this live content. That's cool. Somebody asks a question, etc. Then they get engagement and they're answering questions live. That's what it's all about. So the first couple of times, if you want to make it short, 10, 12, 15 minutes, there really is no limit on it. I would say don't go longer than an hour, which is something that we try and avoid. But most of our lives are in like the 20 to 30-minute range to start, and then we go up from there. So you really need that amount of time to deliver as much value as possible and to be able to also wait for the engagement from the audience to come to the live and ask a question.
Alrighty, and then Sai has a question. And she asks, how long does it take a company to build an audience through virtual events, do you think?
Yeah, so I would say that it could take a long time depending on how much effort you put into it. So if you have a team that's putting a lot of effort into it, it could happen in 3 to 6 months. But you have to first have a brand that has some sort of audience. So all of the people in manufacturing have some sort of brand awareness and audience. One of our clients has like 20, 30, 40,000 followers on LinkedIn on their company page. So they already have brand awareness. Now, are those people engaging on every single post or super active followers? Probably not. But they already have an audience. So we're trying to say, hey, to get attention from that audience, do something live, do a webinar, provide value, education, entertainment, and you can get them to buy into your brand. So usually you already have some existing brand awareness out there. For a brand new company, so like when I started out, we were probably 4 or 5 years old as an agency. When I started doing more live content, we basically started from nothing. We had 500 subscribers or followers on our YouTube. 500 followers on our LinkedIn page. I maybe had, I don't know, 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. Grown a lot since then, but it's all about, we started from scratch and built it up quickly because it was about consistency. Number one, the content has to be good and educational. Number two, you have to be consistent with it. Number three, you have to continue to chop up that content and post it out there so people know this person is creating valuable content. I'm learning from them. I want to tell my friends it's worth my time. So those three factors in, but you can get an audience pretty quick. I'd say 3 to 6 months of consistently doing it, especially if you're doing it weekly. You can build up stuff quick as long as the topics are good and you're providing value.
All right, and we have a question from Reed Rayberg, and he says, what are some tips for doing a live presentation when you're not getting instant audience feedback?
Yeah, so I would say the tip would be, don't focus on the audience feedback. Just focus on delivering your content and pretend like you're talking to a group of people. So I've become very trained because I've done so many of these where I continue to look at the lens regardless of distractions and people walking around the office. But I've done so many lives where people just don't provide any feedback, and that's fine. I don't take it personal. So you want to try and just pretend like you're talking to a group of people. And if you do get somebody that asks a question live or engages live, and that's triple bonus. But I would just say treat it as if you're in a conference room with other people. And you're like, hey guys, I want to talk to you, potential customer. I want to talk to you about how these things can help solve these issues that some of you are probably already dealing with. And so if you look at it from that approach of, I'm going to go and try and give this presentation, which could be strictly educational. It doesn't have to be pitching your product or your service. I'm going to give this presentation. I'm going to pretend like this lens that I'm staring at is a group of people in a room, in a conference room. I'm going to try and provide them with value, but you obviously can't ask questions. You can't say, you just have to reframe your mindset. Instead of saying like, hey guys, what are the top 3 issues that you're having in your shop right now with your cutting tool? And then they're like, oh, okay, we're having these issues. And then you're going to go from there. You would then have to change it and say, hey, here's the top 3 things that we've come across in this industry of aerospace with this type of application. And then you walk through it from there. You want to focus less on looking at a script. You want to try and just have short points to say, talk about this, talk about that, and be able to just talk through it live, not worrying to mess up, but look at it as like the first time I did it, I was like, I'm just going to pretend like I'm pitching to a group of people, or I'm pitching to people through a Zoom call. So I'm looking at a lens, talking to them as if they were there. And then if I get live questions, then it's just a double bonus.
All right, and we have a question from Zach Russell, and he asks, how often would you suggest streaming if you're just starting out?
So it's kind of up to you. Come on in, Laura. Laura's back in the studio, and is Shelly. So I would say it depends, up to you. Oh, did you switch cameras? Yeah. Can they even see her? There she is. Laura's back from all her meetings. So the way my mindset is, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go hard, and I push this team to certain levels of uncomfortableness. I'm sure Riley can tell stories for days of requests that I've had asked of him. But I would say, ideally, if you can do it weekly, that is a great place to end up. If you're like, I'm so busy and I don't know if it's going to work and I want to ease into it, then you could say every 2 weeks, maybe it's once a month. But I would say look at once a month, every 2 weeks, to every week, to multiple times per week. Multiple times per week would be amazing. Worst case, once a month. So something in between. It depends on the resources you have, the time you have, the topic and content you have to talk about, and how much effort you can put into it. But I'm personally a fan of, if you're going to do something, go all in, commit to it. Say, I'm going to do this once a week, and hold yourself accountable to that, and just start doing it.
We'll see if any more questions pop in, but to end on a sweet note, Sai says you are her best inspiration.
Let's go, Sai. I appreciate that. Sai hasn't been on lives for a while. She put a comment saying that she's back. I think that maybe she graduated school. I know she's going to college in, I think, Ohio, Sai, if that's correct. Is that even how you say your name, Sai? Is that how you would say it, Riley? Sai? That's how I would say it. S-A-I, Sai. Let us know if we're pronouncing your name wrong. I think that she just graduated from college with a degree in marketing. She's looking to get into industrial. Unfortunately, she lives in someplace in Ohio, I think. Riley and I were just in Cleveland at the Precision Metal Forming Association's District Leadership Conference. That's a mouthful. Like, what was that, 3 weeks ago, Riley? It was like the last week of June, I think. Good old Cleveland. Can't wait to go back to Cleveland. Love it there.
Sai says she is graduating this week.
Oh, Sai, congratulations to Sai for graduating. You have an accomplishment over me. I never did that. Either or. So if you guys are looking for somebody in marketing that is just consuming this content, reach out to Sai because she is engaging, always asking questions, she sent me messages saying that she's learning a lot and she really wants to focus on this industry. So if you guys are looking for somebody in marketing that's fresh, that's consuming this content and wants to do stuff like this, reach out to Sai in your private messages. Any last questions? All right. Let me know if Sai says that we're saying her name right. She did? Yeah. All right. So we're saying your name right. Cool. Guys, I hope that you got value out of it. If you did, share it with somebody that you know. Head over to YouTube, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching this live for those that did. If you guys have a topic that you want to talk about, you want us to talk about, put it in the comment section. Be like, I'd love to learn more about this. You'll save Riley time from coming up with more lists that I then have to comb through. Guys, also check out the podcast, Industrial Sales and Marketing with me. Subscribe to it. We'll be live next week, right? Yeah, next week. No. We're live next week on the 30th. Live next week on the 30th, next Tuesday at noon. I will see you there, and I think we're probably going to do a sales one next week as well, maybe. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.